Country Superstars, 102.3. Hey, it's the Joco Morning Show.
And we got Melissa Overton, who is with medicaltraining.me. The .me threw me off. Mike and I were just talking about that. How did you get a .me? But Melissa, what do you do if you think you're having a stroke? What are some of the signs to look out for? And how much time do you have to get to the hospital?
You definitely want to call 911. I mentioned earlier the fact that a lot of times people think that stroke equals Shady Pines Nursing Home. So we have a problem with people, number one, not wanting to face lifelong disability. And even worse than that, we have people that say, I just didn't want to overreact. So it's delayed. We want you to think of a stroke as a heart attack of the brain, which means the longer you wait, the worse you're going to do. So we want people to call 911 right away. Most people don't know, but there's actually a medication that can potentially reverse a stroke.
Wow.
Yes, it's like liquid plumber for clogged pipes, right?
Cool.
So liquid plumber for clogged pipes, but we only have about 3 to 4.5 hours since you were last okay to give that medication. So it's really important that people call 911 right away, or they call a family member. And even if they can't talk, just stay on the phone, because if mom keeps calling and not talking, then I know there's a problem, right? If you've got a landline, calling 911, they have an obligation to go out and check on you, even though you weren't able to speak. It's called a wellness check. In these situations, out of 100% of people who could have gotten that clot-busting medicine, and out of 100 people that could have gotten the medicine, 35 of them would have gotten completely better. Another 30 would have gotten somewhat better. Another 30 would not have had any change at all. And 5 of them would have had bleeding problems, with one of those people probably bleeding to death. So those are our statistics. But out of 100% of those people, out of 100 people, and 65 of them could have life-changing results, only 3 of them made it to the hospital in time.
So what do they do? Go and lay down, or let me think about it for a little bit. Let me see if I start feeling better.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Is, you know what? I don't feel very well, so I'm gonna just go lay down for a spell. I'm gonna take to my bed. You know, that's what our family. I'm gonna take to my bed, and that is so not good, because you know what? You're not overreacting when you think you're having an emergency. And these typically happen to older adults, but people are having them younger and younger. So we tell people, recognize the signs and symptoms of stroke and call 911. If you're wrong, that's great. But if you're right, that's great, because we've only got that short time period to do that. But what's even better now is we can also do surgery to reverse a stroke.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's where timing is so important. You've got to call the hospital. You've got to give them time to mobilize and do what they need to do.
And again, some of the symptoms of stroke are confusion. You said difficulty understanding or speech, numbness, severe headache, vision changes, weakness in the body. My dad had a stroke at 27.
Right. And it's so important that we recognize that you can't discriminate because of age.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa. Well, we're going to keep her on the show, and we'll be back to her soon, right?
Oh, yeah. Melissa Overton with medicaltraining.me. National Stroke Awareness Month in May. Very important stuff here. Tuxedo way.